Welcome back to another support card review. Today, we're going to be talking about the Admire Vega New Year's card. It's an SSR power card, and it was released January 2026, and it's currently on banner. If we're talking about limit breakpoints, I would probably say 0 LB just for the skill. And for pullability, I don't think this card is that bad. There are some good points to it in terms of the skills, some of the stats, etc. However, the problem with this card is in Make a New Track, the third scenario, there currently is an SR Guts card for Admire Vega, and we sort of use that card a lot more in Make a New Track. I know Guts currently isn't like the big strategy for people to use in terms of card builds, but in Make a New Track, Guts becomes more of like a viable build. So the problem here then is like, oh, if you want to run this stamina card, you can't run the SR Vega Guts card. So it's like you sort of have to pick between both of them. And most times people are going to probably go more towards the Guts SR Vega card. So that's kind of why this card is tragic, just because it's not that bad actually. But because of Make a New Track and the SR Vega card, you're not going to be using this card as much. But I guess the point is, like, I personally wouldn't use like a ticket for this card or anything like that. But if you end up with it on your account, I don't think it's a major loss. So the skill on this is Daring Strike, moderately increase velocity for a medium duration when positioned towards the back mid-race. So the conditions for this skill are actually not that bad. It's an end closer skill. You need to be in the mid-race, and your position in terms of like a percentage, you need to be, 50% or higher. So you're sort of like in the back of the pack. So that's, obviously makes sense because if you're an end closer, you are in the back of the pack usually. And if you hit all of this and it activates, you will get a target increased speed of 0.25. So I think overall, this skill is not that bad because the conditions aren't that strict, and you do get an increase to your target speed. I don't think it's a waste to have this skill. Now let's talk about the stats. The stats are decent. There is some specialty priority, which makes me happy. It goes from 20 to 35. There is initial friendship gauge of 15 to 20. This card has no mood effect, which is sort of a big downer because I would want some mood effect on this card. I think mood effect in general is really good, but the card does make up for it. There is friendship bonus. It goes from 25 to 30. There is actually training effectiveness, which was pretty interesting that I feel like it's kind of high. It goes from 15 to 20. I feel like I don't find a lot of cards with really high training effectiveness, or at least that I use. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And there is a race bonus of 0 to 10. So overall, the stats are pretty decent on this card, especially at 0 LB to be honest. So if you're running this at 0 LB, you get the skill, and the stats aren't that bad, so it's not a dead card at least. So what's really nice about this card actually is you have two red skills, Flustered Pace Chasers and Subdued Pace Chasers. They will increase the fatigue of Pace Chasers both early and mid-race. So if you are looking to build sort of like a debuff horse, this card could potentially be used, especially since like there are some main debuffer horses that are end closers, and so you can sort of do like a hybrid where it's like you have a horse that can debuff others but also can sort of maybe win a race and stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty cool feature about this card. I really appreciate with this card, again, that there are a lot of end closer skills on it. It's sort of signifying that, hey, you should be using this card for end closer specifically. So I really appreciate that. I like that it has end closer straightaways. I like anything that's usually like strategy straightaways or strategy corners, distance straightaways, distance corners, just because they are cheap in skill points, they activate consistently, and they give you sort of a good increase to your velocity. For like what you're paying for at least. So I think that is pretty good in my opinion. And then finally, just talking about some of the events. So I just wanted to point out that, I said before, it's nice that you can get debuff skills on this, but I just wanted to point out that there is a chance that you don't get the debuff. So if you can look at the first sort of chain in her events, you can see that the top choice can give you Flustered Pace Chasers, but there is a chance that it just won't give it to you. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is at the third point in the chain, you will always get the Daring Strike, or like the gold skill for this card. It's the top option, so I think that's pretty good. Thank you so much for watching my review of the Admire Vega SSR Power Card. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, I will see you guys later. Bye!